Hello and welcome to today's video in which I am ranking all 5 bosses in the Bloodborne The Old Hunters DLC. In today's video I will be ranking all the bosses, that includes the optional and non-optional bosses located in this DLC. As a reminder, I'd like to warn you that today's video is rated M for mature for more mature combat and gameplay. And until then, just sit back and relax. Also, I want to admit that some of this footage is not recorded on my initial attempt, and this is with someone helping someone beat today's bosses, so in which, just understand that. And this whole list is opinionated, and if you have a separate opinion or you have a personal preference, I'd love to hear it down in the comments below. But until then, let's get to the video. To begin our list off with, as number 5 is the Living Failures. As much as I want to make a joke on how the Living Failures is another name for the Souls community, that's very unprofessional, and it's kind of rude. So, let's just get on to it. The Living Failures are a group of blue creatures, aka people, that have resulted from experiments to ascend and become great ones in their universe. The boss is the top of a large lumen flower garden, and consists of around 4 to 5 Living Failures, just in a fight. The boss is incredibly basic with a bunch of swipe attacks and head slams, with occasionally certain ones will shoot magic and will shoot different magic and let out AoE blasts, but where the boss really does shine is with its Phase 2. The Phase 2 introduces one new attack that allows him to call to a beyond source that'll send down meteors toward you, but though it's really easy to dodge, it really will catch you off guard. It's a great phase change. The boss, though, is incredibly basic and there's nothing really to it. I can appreciate the fact that they are not just reskins of normal enemies, or they're not ever used again as a normal enemy. Though I really doesn't make up well with the health bugs. This DLC ends up overloading a lot of the boss's health bugs, or underfilling them, which really results in decreasing my love for certain bosses. Though I will say the soundtrack really helps and makes up for this. It's just beyond epic in its second place. I would say that this boss is pretty underwhelming and boring. I would not lie to say that I don't at least get some pleasure from the boss. For the number 4 spot on this list, I chose Lawrence the First with the Khan, as he is the only optional boss in this DLC. Lawrence is a pretty aggressive and hard fight, considering that it's a reskin of an already previously decently hard boss in the game. He is a reskin of the Cleric Beast, but this time it's on fire, thus adding to a lot of new great tricks that he brings to the table. He has a lot of new fire AoEs and trails, and he's definitely a lot faster than a Cleric Beast. That really does make this fight difficult and hard. Throughout the fight, he slowly decreases in humanity and slowly goes deeper and deeper into beastlyhood. That's the path he has chosen through his lore. This all results in him breaking apart and slowly falling apart in this DLC. He completely falls apart in his final phase, pretty much having him crawl around on the floor helplessly, trying to beat you just so he can live another day. He does have great lore, though, that really does help keep this fight away from being even lower on this list, as the base game already gave great lore to Lawrence as it should. Lawrence's just journey of curiosity was crazy for blood and transforms into horrible beast. But this fight does end up bringing a lot of other stuff to the table too that's not good. For the most part, there's a lot of artificial difficulty in this fight. For one, all the fire AoEs and trails can be slightly annoying, as they will catch you so that you don't even get by them. He also ends up having way too much health for just almost any boss in this game. Though I will say the Cleric Beast also does have a lot of health for beginning game and the first boss. And I will say though too, he does way too much damage on certain medium plus sections just further on. As for I played this DLC on New Game, as this was my first ever playing the DLC. He does, though, have a great soundtrack that really does boost the fight, and is definitely another reason why I love Bloodborne's soundtrack so much. It goes from so beastly and then it goes so epically, and so do a lot of these fights and soundtracks really do go. Though, though I will say this boss isn't the best or even the greatest, or I know people who really dislike it, I still think it's a great boss, and definitely a boss you should check out in the Bloodborne DLC. For my number 3 spot in this list, I chose the Orphan of Kaz. Now, this is definitely the hardest Souls boss, and maybe even the hardest boss I have ever faced in gaming throughout my entire life so far. He is by far the hardest thing ever with his just unpredictable nature and just absolutely crazy attacks and windups. Even though you get options like parrying and backstabbing, which he leaves himself open and good enough just to be able to do that, I still find him the hardest thing ever, even though I do embrace a lot of these sort of things. His attacks will just be so just abnormal and crazy that you just won't see him coming. He's got a lot of AoEs and ranged attacks too that'll catch you off guard even when you're paying attention and trying your hardest, such as the lightning attack in the ocean and him chucking the ball at you and plow it into the ground and cause an AoE. This boss is by far really difficult in this first phase, but it takes the cake in the second phase. Your heart will be pounding and you will be flying around, hoping you can land a hit while you can dodge its normally fast moves and try not to have you freak out. This boss took me around 3 to 4 hours to beat, and is by far the hardest thing, like I've already said. This boss ends up having a decent enough lore, as this is an Orphan Great One. That comes from the Mother Kaz, who's laying on the ocean. It's very cryptic and very underexplained, but it's decent enough to help give it a little bit of background. Though I would say this boss is extremely punishing and hard, sometimes I would even say it's too much to kind of drop it a little bit farther on the list. I would say anyone who likes it is not wrong. And this is definitely a great end to this already very difficult and great game. For my number 2 spot in this list is Lady Maria of the Astral Clock Tower. Maria is very aggressive yet very fair to read. She is really fast and very aggressive and introduces a lot more great hunter combat that's already shown pretty well in base game, and that she is very easy to read and very well easy enough and fair to dodge. She tries to fight you honorably in her first phase, but she ends up leaving herself to about gaping openings of being parried really easily, which ends up bringing her to use blood arts, power that she has and she has agreed not to use, as it's pretty wrong. She ends up using this in a way to protect Fishing Hamlet, as she does not want these residents being attacked, further harassed after a lot of the stuff the hunters have caused towards it. The fight is like an elegant dance, similar to most hunter fights in the game. They're incredibly fast-paced and can be incredibly jarring, as for most fights in this game are against beasts, though it is incredibly well done. And then for each phase, it just keeps spiking in difficulty. This boss ends up having a third phase really close to the end, where she ends up lighting up everything ablaze and on fire, and uses that and it causes a lot of extra damage as long as they're moving. I will say though, that this fight is great and easily interchangeable in the first place for most people. I love this boss and I think it's great. She ends up wielding a great weapon as we found later in the DLC. I really do think this is probably the best the DLC goes in terms of main hunter fight. Though our number 1 pick was once a hunter, but is now incredibly decrepit, and it's definitely my favorite boss. For my number 1 pick on this list, I picked my favorite boss in this DLC, and maybe even base game too, and that is Ludwig the Accursed / Holy Blade. This is such a fast and aggressive yet fair fight that is displayed extremely well and kicks off this DLC with a large bang. He starts off as a very decrepit beast in his first phase, and that ends up showing a lot of difficulty, as I am terrible with beast bosses. His moves are just really hard to read, yet they're really fair, and they really are still even difficult when you know how to do them, even on your 100th attempt. The first phase is great, he's damageable, and it's very hard, but I think when the fight really kicks off when we reach phase 2, as Ludwig ends up regaining his humanity and completely annihilating with his holy blade, aka the Moonlight Greatsword from Dark Souls. This, holy cow, the second phase is epic, and it's just beyond proportions. You unleash a lot of great swordsmiths. Though I will say are probably a little bit easier to dodge and manage rather than all those beastly attacks. It's still difficult, even for a seasoned player. He ends up releasing this one specific attack that can one-shot you. It is decently easy to not dodge, but you don't actually do this move. But the first time, you're going to get caught in this, and you're not going to know what to do. That's what I felt for. This boss may be super hard, but I eventually, after like 2 hours, beat this boss. I absolutely love this boss. It is super fun, and he ends up having an outstanding soundtrack, honestly calling him the best in Bloodborne, though I agree most others can be just as good. I adore this fight, and it's definitely one of the best bosses I've ever seen. Ludwig's lore is great, and it ends up reflecting very well in this DLC. This boss fight is great, and definitely should Here's DLC. I really hope you enjoyed, and I plan on uploading a lot more often with game reviews and hopefully boss rankings later in the future. But at the moment, I am currently working on some other stuff, and I really hope you enjoyed today's video. So, I will say now, I will not be working on Souls, ranking all the Souls bosses just yet, but eventually I will. And when that day comes, that will be great. As I have played and won every Souls game, but I am not entirely done yet. And I will be coming back for them, hopefully when Shakira comes out in March, which I'm super excited for. I really hope you enjoyed watching, and if you feel like it, please leave a like, and think about subscribing, as I will start to become a lot more active, and I will be bringing a lot more high quality content such as this videos like this in the future. So, thank you for watching, and have a great day.